Hello everyone, a very good evening. Today is January 17th. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. Those who are new to me, guys, these recaps and teachings are from my trade ideas that I share in my community, my all-day guidance on voice and trading floor, on the alerts in my community, or anything that I share on Twitter, any ideas and education. And then we try to recap what we did today, where we made money, where we lost money, and what were the strategies we followed, and what were the concepts we followed. And we recap all that, and so that we can do better. And of course, I try to teach you guys every day and show you how we work in community. So guys, another green day. There was today, the main focus was all about the market. Choppy range, but we did good enough. We had good morning trades on the short side, amateur moves short side. Then we had the market reversal. Then we traded. I traded a few couple of market reversal setups that I will show. There was not much in a news play. We'll talk about loser, which of course turns a winner, because when you long it. And then we'll talk about two important concepts today. That's 10 a.m. concept and the VIX concept, which is I had even done a lot of my other previous YouTube video recaps. If you watch them, I talk about these concepts again and again. Repeatable concepts, we repeat them every day, and that's how we find success. So let's see, guys. So let's look at what we are so before I start, let me go quickly through the process. So every day I'm up 1 hour before the market open. I'm up, and with my team, and we work on pre-market news, pre-market gappers, up and downs, wake up summary, and we have a lot of news sources that we subscribe to in our community. That's worth thousands of dollars. That every day we go through each and everything. We look at the downgrades, we look at the upgrades, we look at all the pre-market movers we can, and then I create a watch list. Then I create a watch list. Then I also spend almost 20 to 30 minutes creating the levels, right? So this is the levels that I created today, and we'll talk about it. You will see how these levels. So it's basically, if support breaks, I tell here what needs to be done with EMA clouds. If resistance pivot breaks or rejects, what needs to be done with EMA clouds. So I explain it all here. You can pause and read and see how it worked out. So especially today, when we did our morning shorts, we'll talk about a few of those pivots on AMD, NVDA, and Meta, and see how they did, right? And after I do that, then I also create a morning watch list for my community. We are still working on some formats. Today was little, we were playing around with few formats as we improve our community. So today was a little rushed on these, but we had some plays. So we were watching the Chinese names for B minus bounces, at a support pivot and resistance pivot. And then we had a couple of earnings that were on our watch list. IBKR, SCHW on our watch list, and then BA had a news. That was our top 3 news plays, right? So you can see that watch list here on the right side. If I'm showing you right here, so you can see how I split my watch list into news plays, market indicators, market plays, and then we have upgrades and downgrades right here, and then we have some day 2 setups. So we have all of these that and we have these upgrades and downgrades. So watch list was ready. We were ready. It doesn't necessarily mean we play everything, or of course I don't play everything, but these are the things we know can move that day, and we keep eyes on them. And of course we keep eyes on our scanners. We keep eye on our scanners, see what is moving, and so we can find a place intraday. Anyways, so now that we have our morning watch list and levels are taken care of, let's start with our plays today. So guys, I'm going to start with our SPY, QQQ, and SPX today. So it's going to be a lot of today's recap is going to be focused on our SPY, QQQ trades, right? And right out of the gate, okay, let me just open, let's open QQQ. So right out of the gate, you see, so market was heavy. So what? Let's look at the pivot I gave everybody in the pre-market. So what was my pivot, right? So my pivot support was 405.50 or 404.31. So 405.50, when it breaks, it's a short, right? So QQQ, as I said at the open, that's scalping puts, short. I was on the voice, I was short. I was short SPY, QQQ, both of them. QQQ was moving much better. SPY didn't have a range, although if you were trading SPX, there was some a little bit better range if I go on a smaller time frame. But so QQQQ was much better. So that's what I was saying. I was on the voice guiding that shorted. I was, because it was a short setup, and we were shorting into first amateur move into 10 a.m. Nice short so far. SPY is stuck, and SPY still failing. QQQ still heavy. That was my guidance for first half an hour. We later will talk about how SPY QQQ was fading, and that helped, because I'm also talking about AMD, NVDA failing. The big stocks of the indices were failing. That means the QQQ would fail. So that gives me the confidence to short it. I was short at open. SPY didn't give me that much, but QQQ was decent move. If I go back to look at what QQQ was doing, I said, and of course, before the market open, you first find the personality of the market. Before the market open, I always define a personality. I defined that's a bearish bias. I gave 2 levels of VIX to watch, which comes to my SPY VIX strategy, which you can read on my website. I have covered it a lot of times in a lot of my videos, how SPY VIX strategy works. Not going to spend too much time on that today. Basically, it's I look at both the pivot levels. So I gave that, and then that's why I was short QQQ right at open, and I said everything is short. AMD, NVIDIA, Meta, which we are going to discuss, in our, we'll discuss it in a bit, and we'll look at those levels. So, and QQQ puts went 100%, and we started covering into our 10 a.m. shorts. So that was a morning win on the shorts. 60% of the room was green on the short side in the morning, first 20-30 minutes. Now come what happens after 20-30 minutes. So before we talk about the market reversal concept, let's look at our other winning plays of market short at open, AMD, NVIDIA, Meta, what happened to those. If we go here, we look at what was AMD support pivot, 157.27. I will look at the lower support, or you can look at the upper support, and then NVIDIA support pivot was 560, and then Meta support pivot was 363. So 157, 560. So now let's look at what all of them did. NVIDIA, after it broke 560, faded all the way to 550, right? And AMD, after it broke that level that I gave, you have to be ready in the pre-market and choose the ticker you want to play, because some people just play AMD every day, some people play NVIDIA every day, and I just provide the tools, right? That's the key. That's how you will succeed with confidence. You can go full sizes, right? So anyways, then 157.27, this pivot breaks, this pivot breaks, and then it fades more, right? So what happens then? We remember the rules. You watch my YouTube recaps. If you are not even in the community, you know what we do. We take the first profits at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. concept again and again. I repeat it again. If you don't know about 10 a.m. concept, go on my free website, learn there, and I teach it every day, or watch my previous YouTube recaps. So big win. That's why we were almost done for the day with our first 30-minute trades, and let's go see what happens next. Okay, now that we know that we had that, now what happens? What happened to the SPY? What happens at 10 a.m.? What happened to VIX? Let's see. Let's go back. Let's see at what happened at 10 a.m. The reversal came. There was a big swipe at 10 a.m. And that's what I mentioned. Let's see. So we got a big swipe on at 10 a.m. Swipe at 10 a.m. That's what I said, right? So swipe at 10 a.m. which, and then I gave a pivot of this 472, which I said we can push a little more if that pivot breaks. And then you can trade those bounces, right? And I will talk about the NVIDIA bounce play we did. and you have clear level. You have two concepts to give you confidence. VIX is breaking under 15. SPY is bouncing off the pre-market lows. So you have clear level. This is your clear level. I don't where you add. I don't care where you add. If you're trying to bounce, it's a B minus bounce. This is your add. I personally scalped when it broke out of this tiny little cup and handle thingy right here, because it was 512 EMA clouds. I watched this swipe, I joined back in, and we traded it long into this area, right? 472. I was continuously guiding in our SPY SPX channel all day, and how we were trading on those. So that's where I longed it, and we got this reversal. And I will show you this reversal means you could reverse AMD, you could reverse NVDA, which we did reverse. I personally did. You could reverse Google, you could reverse Amazon, find that level. It's a B minus C minus reversal, means it's against the trend, so you don't size too big. Yes, if you're closer to the resistance, you can size a little regular size, but further from the closer to the support, further from the risk you're adding, smaller you have to add, right? So you see, we played the short, we played the reversal, and I'm not just saying for saying it. I'll show you my NVIDIA reversal I played, and of course I'm on the voice. Half of the things I can't show you, so I'm guiding them, everybody, that how we are playing those reversals from their bottom to the top. So so now let's go to the next step. So we were not done yet, right? SPY reverse. Now then SPY got stuck right in the top here. Let me make it bigger for you guys. So SPY got stuck right in top of here. One candle, you clearly see one candle, two candle, three candle, four candle. And I had this price alert. And what is it? It's Ripster 3450 clouds, our system, our resistance. And there were sellers. And that was my continuous guiding. I even tweeted about this setup, that what SPY is doing there, right? And when I said, what did I say? Struggle at 3450, seller there, I talked about the seller, hard time at 3450, rejecting 3450, and then VIX bounces over 15 and this fails 512. That's when I short, talk to guidance in SPX SPY channel, and that's when I short, and then my price alert starting hitting. Let me show you the price alert. The bear flag, and the bear flag started to hit. You can see the bear flag also hit. So this was the nice short here, and then it breaks the pre-market the low of the day, another short. Those are the trades which made my day. And we really did good. SPX went 100%. Really this move here gave us so many trades, and it was on voice live guidance. So you need to trade these tickers. If you do not trade SPY QQQ, you need to trade the ETFs, or if you do not trade those, you should trade options on those. If you do not trade options, you should trade something else. But levels were clear. Low of the day, resistance top here, anything in between is just hard to trade because you're away from the level. So focus on your entries, guys. That's the must. You have to focus on your execution first. Forget about making money. So yeah, so that was that, guys. And end of the day, I did call out a flag breakout. That was like a lotto play. I can show you before and after. This was before, and we can see at the after. So this was the after, right? So yeah, so that was a breakout here. But anyways, you see, all day we were trading SPY and the market based upon that short bounce, short, and we, so that's how you make things repeatable and have success in stock market. It's that simple. Look at Amazon rejection. When SPY rejected here, you could have shorted Amazon. So the Magnificent 7 move with SPY or QQQ. You could have shorted QQQ when this area rejected. Look at that fade, even though SPY was the best one. So anyways, guys, so that was all day guidance on SPY, SPY, SPX, QQQ, all day money maker for us, repeatable strategy. Let's go to the next one. So Boeing, okay, so let's talk about Boeing. It might not be clear on 10-minute chart how the price was moving. So let me go to just maybe 5-minute chart to show you guys. So Boeing, guys, so Boeing, the plan was that to long versus, okay, let me just go to my pivots, right? So my Boeing pivots that I gave everyone was 20140 and 20166. So it was already over the 20166 pivot. and that was a support as well. It can pull back, so it had turned bullish. So this was turned bullish, although it's 5-minute clouds, but still it turned bullish on the 10 minutes cloud. And that's what I said, we long versus 200. Our risk is 200 wherever we are longing. If I'm longing at 202, my risk is $2 there. Okay, and so that's my risk, and I gave that plan, and I longed it right at open, small size. I didn't see the breakout. There was a breakout here, so I kept it small size, even though we pushed, since we added, right? So we opened that. Let's see, let's just go back to a 2-minute chart just to show you guys how the move was, right? So that was the move when it opened. We were at opened at 202.60 with the low of 202, and that's where I added on that push in 202.50s. And then my plan was to add more into that breakout, so I was waiting for that breakout, and when that breakout happened, I added a little bit more. So it added over 204.49, and we pushed to 205.60s. My target was 206 though, so I had to take some of what I added for the breakout. I took that off, rest of it I held, right? It's because my risk was 200 or 202, right? Or 201.66 level. So I wanted a bigger move because it had clearly turned bullish, and I could afford to hold it because I took the profits. And then what happened? Held the 512 EMA clouds on 10-minute and pushed again to 206.30. And you could add this as a a 512 setup as well, and then you sell on the pops, right? And you can see my guidance. I keep talking about tight risk 202. I even said at 10:01, I said tight risk at 202, wider risk at 200. If nervous, get out, right? And it was flagging, and boom, we hit over 206.29. Again, I took some profit, and then the news hit. The last one I was left, I got out, right? So overall, decent trade. Crazy winner? No, just a good winner. I would say, I would call it, I risked R and maybe made 1.5 R, although technically it could have been 2 hour, 3 hour R, but I was happy with 1.5 R. So if I risked $2, I made $2.5 on the shares, and the options moved 50 to 60%. So that was decent move. So that was a nice, easy, stress-free winner for the community this morning. So as you know, let's talk about NVIDIA. So we already shorted NVIDIA at open. We were short, right? That on the voice, I was short QQQ. But the point is, you could short and make money on AMD, NVIDIA, whatever you're shorting. Once it's under the cloud, it's bearish. You know the trend. You're staying with the trend. You're managing your trades at open, and you are shorted. And remember, guys, if you can't execute, don't try to make money. If you watch my videos, just take 1 share, 2 share. I don't care. Just try to learn the entries and exits. Forget about making money. In 1 month, even if you make $20 or lose $30, don't matter. You just need to do those trades. So anyways, the point where we were short on NVIDIA, then NVIDIA starts bouncing. I already showed you the 10 AM concept and SPY VIX concept. We were bouncing there. The reversal was coming, right? So I wanted to do the bounce as well. And as you know, I don't like to go against the trend unless and until I find some conviction and I find some good risk. And although 10 AM concept and SPY VIX was giving me some conviction, and then what happened on NVIDIA was NVIDIA gave me this yesterday's lows. When it pulled down and pushed back, I had a clear level to risk. That's when I gave my community the idea bounce setup versus, when I say versus, means that's your risk, C minus setup if consolidated market turns, right? So the focus is to make people execute themselves. I can easily say, oh, take this call, take this call. That's not what I'm trying to do. Although I do, say that a lot, that I'm long or short in the morning trades to help people out. But the point is, you have to execute. If you don't execute yourself, you will never know. But if you execute in NVIDIA with this guidance, you are more confident next time to see, why we longed it, right? We longed it because we wanted to capitalize on the QQ bounce right here. The bounce was happening. We wanted to capitalize on that. And NVIDIA provided me a clear defined risk. And I could have chose something else too. But like I said, you could bounce AMD, Amazon with the market, C minus setups, little small size, find your risk, have a stop, and you see the VIX is falling, QQQ is bouncing, you take that trade, right? So, and what was my guidance on NVIDIA? So I said, bounced off yesterday lows, should push more, keep eye on other bounce plays. I clearly say that if you took the bounce, good to lock first at 512, leave half. So you take some and then you leave half, right? So where did we start from? We started from this idea. When we started, it was 10 a.m. reversal. Right here is where we started. From 552 mids, we took our first profit, 556.40s, and then I said hold, and I gave the 560 target to everyone. So that was my target that I gave everyone to focus on, and you see us and we hit the target. 560 target met. So target met. I told everybody to hold it, the target met, and you're out when 512 breaks. So nice midday setup. Nothing is easy. You have to analyze everything, market, reversals, and the risk level, and then you take the trade. Decent trade, the options moved decent, the share moved enough. If you risked, let's say you risked 549, right? You risked $3, but you made $7-8. So risking one, you made 2 reward, or 2.5 reward, or maybe if in the calls you made 50, 60, 70% on the calls. So that was the key, guys. That was the NVIDIA midday setup. Nice win for us. Let's sort of quickly talk about Chinese plays today. So China was gapping down. My point on China plays today was, some of them, I was talking about Baba. I was like, if it can hold, it can do a 6 B minus bounce. And, PDD 139 was upper pivot, 136 was lower pivot, and 132 was a gap support, 140 was another resistance. But generally there was a chance of the B minus bounce, and the most of them did that. And Baba did the B minus bounce, PDD did the beautiful B minus bounce, actually the best one since it got out of my pivot. So B minus bounce, held clouds, and push, right? So what did I say? PDD 139 pivot, 142 resistance, and then it pushed. Look at the PDD push, the Baba push. So Baba, I already said that Baba bearish to neutral, but it also has a B minus bounce if 67 holds. As soon as it breaks 68.20, it can push to the upside, and it breaks the 68.20 pivot I gave, and Baba push to the upside, fill the gap, right? So it's all about finding the opportunities, having your levels ready in the pre-market. You wake up early. Some people like to trade Chinese stocks. They did good today on those B minus bounces. Let's go to the next. So let's talk about SCHW. SCHW was on our pre-market plan. The plan was to short SCHW versus pops of 63, 63.50. Usually we want these pops right at open. Pop at open, get an entry, rejects. And if it breaks 60.50, then it fades more. That was the plan. But SCHW did not really pan out that way, but that is okay. We know that when short setups don't work, they don't work. It did break 60.50. It went to 59.67. And I was like, it's a good short. But the next candle right away made higher, same low or higher low, whatever you want to call it. And that's not always good when it tries to hold a level, right? Hold a level. So you were short, but it held a level, and then it pushed back. So this candle was a warning. This candle was a warning that what it's doing. And that's when I was like, it gets back over the opening price. That's a problem, It should not get over the opening price, and that's when you start to take, get out. And then I said, close the short, watch long versus 60.20. So that's your risk. Low of this candle, 60.20, watch the long. And what happened after I said long? I closed my short. If I was just holding my short, like, not following my system, I would have lost so much money by the time it hit 63. Since I closed the short, SCHW hit end of the day full gap, almost 63.40, guys. So that's how you change your bias, cover the shorts, get the longs, right? I personally did not get the long because I was having a good day in other trades, but this is I'm showing you the teachings and guidance and how to trade these setups. And if the short was working, that's fine. It didn't work, get out. Lose less, make more. Let's talk about Interactive Broker. That was on our watch list as well as a news play. Interactive Broker bearish to neutral, but very low volume, right? Low volume. There was no volume in the pre-market. Keep eye on the pivots. I specifically mentioned that to keep eye on the pivots because whatever side the pivot breaks, that side your bias should go. And what did IBKR did, right? So IBKR, let's see, breaks the pivot of 85. What are my rules? Over the clouds, you long, right? You want to try to find a risk level. You go with a smaller time frame. I don't know. You go 2 minute, 3 minute at open to what? You just find a risk level. If you want to see a 10-minute risk level, okay. Let's look at. Let me go to 1 minute. I don't usually trade 1 minute. I just want to show you guys. So you see it's making high, or maybe let's go 5 minutes. Maybe a lot of people use that. So it's back over clouds, and if you add anywhere here 85 is your risk. So you can add a starter, or when you watch the candle pushing over the clouds right at open, you can add a starter at 85. Pivot breaks, it's holding, you scale in, you average up, and you hold till 10 a.m. and then it keeps going to 90 bucks. Since it broke the 85 pivot and turned bullish, and look where it went, 90, right? So my job was, because I was not trading because I was busy with other stocks, but my plan is I try to give the opportunities and trades, and look at this IBKR, look at the SCHW, so both were nice ideas. So I just want to call quickly about DKNG. The floor was trading DKNG, trading floor, there's hundreds of traders trading there. So we were talking about DKNG, and then DKNG price alert started to hit. You see that 34.40, 34 and 34.85. So those breakout pivots I had, they started to hit, and then the daily broke the 50 EMA cloud as well. And since breaking out that level, DKNG pushed to 35.53. You clearly can have these stops here, chase a starter and scale in and just scalp this setup, because when it breaks daily, and even I talked about the daily chart, how beautiful it is, breaks this 15 EMA downtrend line, it's a good trade intraday. It's good even for swing now. So, I'm watching it. I'm keeping eyes on it for swing as well. I do like this play for 2024 as an investment name. So we'll keep reviewing it again. So lastly, I want to review, guys, Tesla. So there's nothing in Tesla today. There was no long. I told everybody bearish again. There's no long. Win also came in and said everybody heavy, do not long. But Tesla is trying to hold now. This candle is impressive, the way it's trying to bounce over 210. So let's see, maybe it gives us a small relief bounce towards 220s. So we will watch it tomorrow, although it looks like it's gapping down after hours. But yeah, Tesla, there was nothing there, no trade. If you try to trade Tesla all day, choppiness, I said bearish chop. If short, use 34.50. There's nothing much. So there's trade to day long, there's day to trade short, and there's day to sit on your hand. And today for Tesla, that was the day. All right, guys, thank you for watching my video. I appreciate it. If you want to trade with me, come join my community. There's a promo code in the links. Come for guidance, education, trade ideas, and grow with me. Do not come for the alerts. Thank you. Bye-bye. I see you tomorrow.